Hello Leute, I hope you still remember me and remember who I am, because I know I've taken forever for the last few videos, including this one and the last one. I took very long to release them. I was on a pretty good pace and schedule for up until then. I think I was doing about one a week and I was very consistent, but the last little while has been a little crazy, and I mentioned what was going on in the last video. You know, it's not that it was getting hard, it was just my priorities were changing a little bit. But I think the announcement that I'm about to make in this video will help me change things up, kickstart something new, and get me back into the routine of doing something or doing a video every single week. And that is that I want to take a break from learning German. Okay, so the reason for that is I started learning German back in 2016. If you remember, I started when I went abroad to Mannheim, Germany for my semester abroad. I took a course there that was A1, like super beginner, super basic, and I didn't learn a whole lot of German while I was in Germany for 6 months. A lot of it, if not all of my German that I learned, has been back home here in Canada, using different tools that I've outlined before on my channel. And so it's been, you know, almost 3 years of doing that, and that's a long time. And I think I'm getting to the point where I am starting to plateau a little bit, and I'm not seeing the progress that I want, which is completely normal after a certain period of time. However, I do think instead of continuing to go at it, what I wanted to do was take a bit of a break. Not a complete break. I think I'll still be reviewing German somewhat frequently, but I'm going to change focuses, and instead I am going to focus on a new language. Some of you might know that in the past I did mention that I have, you know, several languages that I would like to learn over a longer period of time, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it may be, but I do have certain languages that I do want to pick up or at least attempt at some point or another. And I was feeling, you know, I've been doing German for so long, I think I want to change things up, try something different, add another language. And this one is the one that I think it is my next priority after German, so I'm excited to tell you which one it is. In case you were wondering, some of you have already guessed this in the past, some of you already know which one I'm talking about, but the language that I want to learn next is French.
Je m'appelle Claude.
Je découpe plow.
Why do I want to learn French? A couple different reasons. One, it's a language that I did start to learn in school. Some of you might know, in Canada, it is a bilingual country with English and French being the official languages. So in elementary school, I started in 4th grade all the way up to 9th grade. We did have to take it. It was mandatory. After that, you didn't have to. And I remember when I think back to that time, I did really enjoy learning French. But as I got older, closer to grade 7, 8, 9, that's when, you know, I was doing it, but I wasn't interested anymore. I lost a lot of interest, which is why after 9th grade, I decided not to continue with French. Which I now kind of regret looking back, now that I'm really interested in languages, you know, after so many years. However, you know, it's never too late. So that was one of the reasons why, you know, it's something that I've learned in the past. I think I can pick it up again very quickly. Some other reasons include that I did mention that in Canada we are a bilingual country, so knowing French does open up a few, you know, interesting opportunities, career-wise, experience-wise, being able to move to a different province, like say, for example, like Quebec or New Brunswick, which has a lot of French speakers. So I think there's just, you know, that's a cool aspect of it. But also just to be able to travel in other parts of the world. I do have family in France, and it would be great to be able to communicate with them in French, as they don't speak a lot of English. So it would be actually easier if I was able to pick up French and communicate with them in that way. So these are just a few things that, a few reasons why I wanted to learn French. And I do really believe that I can learn French, and by learn, I'm going to define that as being able to get to conversation in a very short amount of time. Now, I don't know if this is because I feel confident having learned how to learn a language in the last 3 years with German, so that was good practice for me. I also believe that French is a little bit easier structure-wise, the way the language is laid out for me to pick it up. The German was a little bit difficult when I compare it that way. But also I have a lot of more resources that I can tap into. I have, you know, I know a lot more people locally that I can practice my French with, which I think is a huge help, which I didn't have for German. So that will be super helpful, among other things. So I'm looking forward to that. I plan on starting this week. So what I'm hoping to do is do updates very frequently over the next little while, showing, you know, progress after 1 week, maybe after 1 month, after 2 months, etc. And also show you how I'm doing it. It's going to be very similar to how I was studying with German. So Babbel is going to be my main source that I'm going to rely on to get me up to speed very quickly. So I'm going to plan out for the next week or so exactly how much I'm going to do every day. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons a day. But I think I can get through it very quickly because I did have that foundation that I built when I was younger, and I think it's still there in the back of my mind. I just have to tap into it. So I will do that, and my battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna try to get through this really quickly. So I'll show more updates on that. I'm really excited to start something new, start something fresh, and hoping that will keep me consistent over the next little while. And I'm not gonna completely go away from German. I will still continue to practice it in some ways or another. But I will show you how I'm going to be balancing both, in addition to the 2 other languages that I speak, which are English as well as Tamil. So I guess technically adding my 4th language now, or I guess if German was like got me to 2.5, then maybe this is my 3rd language. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Let me know how you guys are doing with your language learning in the comments below. But also, don't forget, I just created a social media account, an Instagram account for my language learning. It's probably something I should have done a long time ago, but I do have one now, so you can follow me there. It'll be a lot easier for me to post updates daily on there via Instagram stories and posts on there. I might be posting things on there before I put videos out, so that's a great place to check me out and connect with me. And otherwise, I will see you next week with an update on how much French I was able to pick up in just 1 week. See you guys next time. Choose, and I'll also have to think about new intros and outros because now I have to switch into French. So I'll work on that. See you guys next time.